I want to welcome all of you to our show, and I don't usually get a chance to start the show. Behind the scenes, John Roth, Nolan Ellenberg, they do an amazing job of trying to make me look good during the season, and I hope you feel really good about what they've represented and presented to you during the year. I know I'm proud to be a part of it. Today, it's our last show of the season, and it's kind of like the last game, where you're honoring your graduating seniors. It's the end of the season, but for me, I could not have a more special guest on the show than Kevin White, our director of athletics here at Duke for the last 13 years, and has done an amazing job. And so, Kevin, welcome to the show.
Mike, thanks for having me. It's great to be on the show with you, and it's been an amazing year, although an incredibly challenging year, and it'll be fun to just kind of kibitz with you about it here on the show.
Instead of just talking about the year, let's talk about 13 years. And, when you came, I was ecstatic because we were getting the best. It's kind of like getting Zion, RJ, or Jason, but over those 13 years, the things, as you look back, some of the things that you're most proud of.
There's just so many things. I love having had the opportunity to represent a world-class school.
Right.
I mean, I know this is going to sound Pollyannish, but I'm an educator at heart. I value that. That's been my role. To be at a place like Duke University was beyond my wildest imagination. My relationships with the coaches, with you, right in the midst of that, maybe at the top of that list, and then all of our student athletes. I mean, God, we got some amazing kids,
Right.
And over 13 years, that's a large number of kids that were really great at their sport and worked hard to win championships, and at the same time were world class on the academic side of the ledger as well. So just to have that opportunity for me has been incredibly gratifying.
Also, the number of national championships that have been won. We have 2 while you're here.
Yes.
And I wish we'd have 1 or 2 more, but 2 is good. But with lacrosse and golf and whatever. But obviously those are amazing things. But I'm not sure our viewers and our fans realize, the fact that you've been a teacher here, and you've been a teacher at every stop, and have done a really amazing thing over the years, is you've taken time to spend time with all of our athletes. Could you tell our viewers what you do, besides what you're doing in teaching, but also the unique thing you've done with our student athletes over
Mike,
the years?
it's been a pleasure to be involved with all of our student athletes. We're 740 student athletes at this point, representing 27 sports at Duke, and every kid is different, and they're all incredibly special. And so just to have that opportunity has been.
But you've met with them.
I've met with them.
You set up times to meet with them.
And I tell you what, I on the way home, I can't think of. I try to catalog the stories to download to Jane when I get home. I mean, they're amazing stories visiting with these kids, but they're all dreaming big dreams. They're incredibly aspirational. Maybe it was about 3 or 4 years ago, I met with every student athlete just because I wanted to. And
Right.
quite frankly, I was getting a little older, and I felt like I was kind of out of touch, and I wanted to kind of reboot a little bit. And so I did that, and then in subsequent years, I've only met with the freshmen. And so, but I've had a lot of one-on-one 25, 30-minute conversations with our student athletes that I'll take with me as I retire. Back to the teaching thing, I've taught for 38 years.
Right.
I'm teaching a class right now at Fuqua, and it's my 38th year teaching that class, or a class that's pretty similar in the way it's kind of put together. But and I hear from a lot of those students from the that inventory of classes from all those years and those different institutions. Those students, and they weren't my student athletes, or they weren't really even students at the different institutions I would have represented as undergrads, but they were grad students, and they stay in touch with me, which is really cool as well.
Duke All Access is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Together taste better. By Ford. Built for victory. Built for the Carolinas. Contact your Carolina Ford dealer today. And by Gatorade. Win from within.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Nearly 150 years of experience goes into making each and every Continental tire. So you can trust with total confidence that our tires will deliver superior performance, no matter where the road takes you. Continental Tire, for what you do.
Today tastes like staying in, like our go-to place. Tastes like anticipating, and a little bit like waiting.
Food's here.
Today tastes like a piece of the action, and it never tasted this good.
Hi, I'm Mike Krzyzewski, and you know what? I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky because my wife and I were able to get the vaccine. I would certainly recommend to all of you out there, if you have an opportunity to get the vaccine, please do it as more and more vaccines become available. You have a spot. Take your shot.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
You're always looking to make people better and to help them move on to greater things. You know, a lot of people talk about us putting so many guys in the NBA and lottery picks, but in the world of college athletics, no one comes close to putting administrators in ADs roles and roles around the country where they become future ADs than you. Is that something? How did that happen? I mean, how did you do that?
You know, I think it's probably analogous to what you've done. I mean, you've recruited the best and the brightest to come to Duke, and if you throw in with me, it's going to be a lifetime relationship, and I'm really going to help you get to where you want to go. And by the way, that's why you have, in any given year, 20 kids or more, 20 men or more playing in the NBA. It's stunning. It'll never happen again. Mm-hmm. But it's maybe that same kind of mentality if a young administrator or a middle grade administrator throws in with us and we talk about, you know, this is what we can do for you at the end of the month. This is what might be referred to as compensation. The real payoff is when you go to the window and you start to become upwardly mobile in your career. And we'll be there for you, we'll help you. And it's that kind of mentality. It's basically an agreement. It's a verbal contract. And so we've been really fortunate. But at the end of the day, the beneficiary of all that has been me. I've had a lot of those great young people around me for a long time, and it's kept me in the game for, again, 38 years as an athletics director, only because I was fortunate enough to have some of those great people, a lot of great people around me.
Yeah, well, you've been an advocate for those people, the coaches that have worked for you, the student athletes that have been under your guidance, under your leadership. And a thing that you've done, I know during the 13 years you've been here, that I think Duke has benefited from, is you haven't just done it here at Duke. You've taken time to be on the USOC. You've taken time to, behind the scenes, there wouldn't be an ACC channel right now if you did not do all the things that you do. You're always involved in helping the ACC, USOC. Like, where did you find the time to do all that stuff?
You know, that's been a love affair for me as a recovering track coach. When I was invited to maybe, and that's maybe the term, I was nominated for the USOPC and to interview for the post. I was very surprised when they called me. They cold called me. And I have 2 years remaining on an 8-year term. That's been an absolute love affair. But I have to tell you, I came to Duke from South Bend with an absolute keen interest, if not, again, love affair for the ACC. Knew Gene Corrigan very, very well,
Right.
and knew a lot of the coaches and administrators in this league. And the opportunity to come to this league meant an awful lot to me. So when John Swafford, you know, would kind of recruit me to participate in as chair of the television committee, which I was just again so honored and privileged to play a role in that. And John and I are really close, and that was just you know, another real gratifying opportunity for me. And I'm thrilled it's worked out so well. And of course, we've got a new commissioner, Jimmy Phillips, and he's going to take all
He's
of it
one
to
of
the
your
next
guys,
level.
though.
Well, he's one of his own guys.
He's
you
one
know,
of your guys.
He's a Weber High guy.
Yeah.
You and
He and
Jimmy
I went to the same high school.
I
but
love that.
I told him
story.
that Weber was a lot tougher when I was there, so he
Exactly.
got out. But no,
he devalued Weber.
right,
Okay.
right.
Let's talk about math. Fuel points math. For every dollar you spend at Harris Teeter, you get a fuel point. 100 fuel points equals 10 cents off per gallon. 200 fuel points equals 20 cents off per gallon. 1,000 fuel points equals $1 off per gallon on quality fuel. And if you're shopping at Harris Teeter with your Vic card, your fuel points are already adding up. Check the bottom of your receipt. Harris Teeter Fuel Points, an easy way to save on fuel.
See harristeeter.com for details.
Nearly 150 years of experience goes into making each and every Continental tire. So you can trust with total confidence that our tires will deliver superior performance, no matter where the road takes you. Continental Tire, for what you do.
She's the one, and you know it. At Reeds.com, we're making it easy to find the perfect ring from home. With helpful advice from our online jewelry experts, safe and discreet shipping, and beautiful ring packaging, you'll be confident the moment will be as perfect for her as she is for you. As a trusted jeweler for over 70 years, Reed's Jewelers will be here to make both of you feel like family. Long after she says yes.
If this is your kind of day and this is your kind of truck, then this is your time to buy. During the Built for Spring sales event, get great deals and great offers on the legendary workhorse Ford F-150 and the adventure-ready Ford Ranger. Make the most of your spring in a new Ford, America's best-selling brand. Hurry, it's the Built for Spring sales event. Now, get a 2020 F-150 with up to $10,531 in total savings. Only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
And the rebound for Goldwire. Head up, looking to push the pace. Fed Williams on a driving dunk to hammer it home with the right hand. And Jim Boeheim wants another timeout.
Obviously, we've gone through a heck of a year, and college athletics continues to evolve, but it's been hit hard. And so, not just for Duke, but the challenges ahead for Duke and college athletics coming off of this pandemic year. Hopefully we're coming off of it and going into a more natural year.
You know, I think we're all hoping for a little light at the end of the tunnel, and I think we're beginning to see that for all the obvious reasons. I won't try to delineate what they are. I think we all know what they are. And so we're hopeful. But the most significant challenge, because it all relates to, it seems to come back to the economics of college athletics.
Right.
That's the real serious challenge. And COVID has really crippled schools and/or programs. A lot of programs are hemorrhaging. A lot of institutions, a lot of colleges and universities are hemorrhaging. There's 3,000 colleges and universities in this country. God only knows how many won't survive. and some people are prognosticating that's going to be a big number. So it does trickle down into the athletics department, and so the biggest challenge, it's an economic challenge, and it's real, and we're going to have to find ways to kind of amortize some of this lost revenue and some of these unanticipated expenses, maybe over 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. In respect for the number of sports here, throughout this whole year, there was never even a hint that we would stop a sport here or, eliminate a sport. How do you see that in the future?
I serve on that USOPC, and I have a subcommittee that I actually chair, and it's called CAC, Collegiate Advisory Council, and really the mission of that is to strongly discourage, reducing the Olympic sport opportunities for young people. By the way, in the NCAA system, there's 480,000 kids.
Wow.
Representing those 1,100 schools. So you're talking about a lot of opportunities for a lot of kids. Duke has been terrific, and Vince Price has been really strong on, we need to do the best we can, satisfy the needs and the interests of all of our young people that are attracted to Duke for both academic and athletic reasons, and he's been a stalwart. He's been terrific, and so Duke is fighting the good fight as well as anybody else. But the economic challenges, Mike, they're real.
Last thing in regards to this, do you think we'll have fans, next year? In a return to normalcy? I know we're looking at summer school and campus is going to be a little bit bullish and getting back, but what do you think?
Here at middle of March, I'll be the optimist. With what we know today, I think we will. I think we're going to be able to get to that higher ground, to that safer place, and maybe there'll be some modifications in place because of what happens between now and September. But I'm again growing optimistic that we will get closer to some degree of normalcy and we will have fans.
I'll tell you what, we've missed the Cameron Crazies.
Yes, we have.
Big,
like crazy, I've missed the Cameron Crazies.
Yes,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Along with that, the future for you, you're gonna, you announced, but you didn't elaborate, and so many of our fans, so many people love you, and are thankful for the job that you've done for all of us. What about the future for you and Jane?
Well, first of all, Mike, thank you. That means an awful lot to me. I've loved our benefactors. There's 13,000. I love our fans. There's a zillion, and a lot has to do with men's basketball, quite frankly, and all of our other sports. Jane and I are preparing to reside in Durham. I'm going to teach at Fuqua. I have what I think I'm characterizing as a 5-year teaching appointment. Bill Bolding, who's the dean over there,
Great, yeah.
is a close friend and confidant, and he's welcomed me with open arms. I've taught there now this is my 13th year. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be the next chapter, and maybe the right chapter. It kind of brings me full circle. So I could not be more excited about that opportunity.
And the AD's position, you will still be in that until when?
Till August.
August.
I will go with Team USA to Tokyo as a board member of USOPC, and when I return from Tokyo, it'll be mid to late August, and at that point I will move out of Schwartz Butters and find another office cubicle somewhere and set up shop as whatever I'll be. I guess a professor of the practice over in Fuqua.
Well, I'll tell you what, on behalf of all the coaches, especially the coaches, there's not one of us that is not extremely grateful and thankful that you've been our leader over this time. You've made my job a heck of a lot easier and a lot more fun, and you've helped me immensely. And the 26 other head coaches, if they were sitting where I am, they would say the same thing. So thank you, and I'm so glad that you and Jane will still be in the area.
Mike, thank you very much. It means everything to us, and you're incredibly gracious and generous in your comments, but it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being on.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
It's bow time.
Dad, we're hungry.
Yep, to the grill.
Out of gas on game day? Drop a big bow box on it. Game on. Feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of scratch-made chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea.
It's bow time.
Today tastes like staying in. Like our go-to place. Tastes like anticipating. And a little bit like waiting. Today tastes like a piece of the action. And it never tasted this good.
Even though we can't have everyone gathered, we found new ways to make each occasion special. We're keeping your gifting experience both safe and personal through Reads.com, answering all your questions and guiding you to the perfect present, just like we have for over 70 years. Family always finds a way to celebrate life's moments together, no matter what. You won't just shop with confidence at Reed's Jewelers and Reads.com. You'll feel like family.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Duke 360, presented by Continental Tire, for what you do.
Matthew Hurt, what a season he had. He was not only one of the best players in the Atlantic Coast Conference, but he was the most improved player in that conference. He looked fresher to me all year, and maybe that's the weight, the muscle that he had put on in the offseason. Maybe it was just that freshman to sophomore jump. But the first team All-ACC player was unbelievable for Duke, carrying not only an offensive load, but an interior presence load all season long. He was great against Louisville in those 3 games against Louisville this season. The first game at Louisville, he had 24 points. The impact he had from the perimeter, from the 3-point line, was tremendous. He had 4 threes in that game at Louisville. Could he top that? Man, he certainly could. A career-high 37 points in the game in Cameron. He was 15 of 21 from the field. Only 2 threes in that game. Louisville did a much better job trying to get him off that 3-point line. He goes for 21 field goal attempts, 15 field goals made in that game, 37 points. And then you go to the ACC tournament, again against Louisville, 20 points in that big win. And towards the end of that game, they ran that baseline screen for him to get a 3 to take the lead at halftime, ended up stopping a 16-0 Louisville run. He was tremendous again in that game. 81 points against Louisville this season, a 27 points per game average against that team. He was, of course, Duke's leading scorer, 18 points a game on the season. He was their leading rebounder, 6 rebounds a game. The improvement from his freshman to sophomore year was huge. The season that Matthew Hurt had, both defensively, but expanding his offensive game, it was tremendous. All season long, Matthew Hurt was a superstar.
Duke has the basketball, tied at 75. Goldwire for Roach. Looks to the left corner, there's Hurt. 3 ball up. Oh, he hit it! Cold-blooded from Matthew Hurt to give the Blue Devils a 78-75 lead.
Well, I certainly hope that you've enjoyed the TV show throughout the season. We try to do it a little bit differently than other schools, and I love the format, and I love how our people prepare for it. You know, when you talk about preparation, that's really what we're doing, you know, during the spring. You know, we got to prepare for next season. You know, how do you do that? You finish up with recruiting. You know, when does that end? I don't know. I don't know when guys make decisions. Will guys go pro? You know, what will happen in that regard? You know, will guys, everyone stay? During the spring, you have to take care of the individual needs of your team, and that's what we're doing right now, while still, you know, getting over what ended our season, and that's COVID. You know, we're staying diligent with that, and I want to thank our athletic department for, even though we're not playing right now, we still do daily testing. We are still vigilant. People are still taking care of us. And over this year, I'm not sure there's been a university and an athletics department that has done more to make sure that their people are safe than Duke University and Duke Athletics. So again, thank you for being with us. We'll look forward to doing this again in the future.
Now a steal by Stewart, and a chance to run. He'll take it. And, oh, goodness! The right-handed hammer, and a chance for three. As Hunter, threw it right to Jalen Johnson. Headed the other way, one-on-one on Hall. Oh, hammer it down! Off the inbound, it's Moore, a fadeaway. Good! Oh, goodness! Wendell Moore Jr. off the right baseline to take the lead back out to three. Stolen by Stewart. Duke hasn't led since it was 2-0 until now. And Stewart lays it in off the right glass. There's Wirtz trying to get inside. Got by Roach, blocked by Williams. And it's 4-on-3 the other way. Goldwire to the left corner. Moore's three is good. Wendell Moore Jr. is sizzling. Goldwire head up, long lob to Williams to throw it down. Carlik Jones at the other end trying to drive. Cut off by Hurt. Then got to the baseline. Forced it up. Got it blocked. Get that out of there. And Hurt got the block. Here's Moore up the left side. A chance to tie or go back in front. Here's Hurt for the lead. Bang! One to the right corner. Davis thought about a three, instead went back up top, and Goldwire knocked it loose. Headed the other way to lay it in. 2-on-1. The lob to Williams on a rack attack. And the Blue Devils slap the floor. Haven't seen that a lot this year.
Hope it means something.
Clark on the right. Goldwire all over him. A huff screen. Brakefield has him on a switch. Clark on the drive. In on Brakefield. Got it blocked. Get that out of there. And Hurt comes up with the basketball. At the top. Now to the right at Brakefield. A handoff for Roach. Nope. Turned it down. Drove the baseline to put the Blue Devils in front. And he was fouled.